What if I told you Lewis Hamilton, a Formula One legend, almost traded his racing suit for an orange jumpsuit? That's right, the 7-time world champion and speed demon found himself in a bit of trouble with the law. Not for a high-speed crash on the track, but for something unexpected that happened on a regular street in Melbourne. Buckle up, because this story isn't about checkered flags and champagne, but about screeching tires and flashing police lights. This is the night Lewis Hamilton nearly found himself behind bars. Before the flashing lights and sirens, Lewis Hamilton was already a household name in the world of Formula One. Born in Stevenage, England in 1985, this racing prodigy started his journey at the tender age of 8, tearing up the karting tracks and snatching championships left and right. By 13, he was already in the McLaren fold, honing his skills and setting his sights on the ultimate prize, Formula One. In 2007, the world got its first taste of Hamilton's electrifying talent. He burst onto the F1 scene, snatching podium finishes and even a few wins in his rookie season. The following year, he clinched his first world championship, becoming the youngest driver to ever achieve the feat. But 2009 was a different story. It was a year of struggles, disqualifications, and a hunger to reclaim his former glory. As the 2010 season rolled around, the pressure was on. Hamilton was determined to prove he wasn't a one-hit wonder. He had a new teammate, the reigning world champion Jenson Button, and the duo was expected to push each other to the limit. The 2010 Formula One season was only just heating up, with 2 races already in the books. The first race in Bahrain had seen Ferrari's Fernando Alonso take the win, followed closely by his teammate Felipe Massa. Hamilton, hungry for redemption, secured a respectable 3rd place, earning valuable points. The Australian Grand Prix, the second race of the season, was a pivotal moment. Hamilton had a history with this track, both triumphant and tumultuous. He had secured a stunning victory in 2008, but also faced disqualification in 2009 for misleading stewards. The 2010 race was his chance for redemption, to put the past behind him and reassert his dominance. Adding to the intrigue, the 2010 season marked a new era in Formula One, with the introduction of significant rule changes. Refueling during races had been banned, forcing teams to adopt new strategies and adapt to the altered dynamics of the competition. Additionally, the absence of the kinetic energy recovery system, KRs, leveled the playing field, making the races even more unpredictable. All eyes were on Melbourne, the city poised for a thrilling showdown. Little did anyone know the real drama was about to unfold off the track that would shake the F1 world. The mood in the McLaren garage was a mix of excitement and tension. Their star driver, Lewis Hamilton, had just come off a pole position in Bahrain, but a technical hiccup had cost him the win. Now, here in Melbourne, things weren't going quite as smoothly. The qualifying session, held in the pouring rain, had been a disaster for the team. Both Hamilton and his teammate Jenson Button, the reigning world champion, had failed to make it into the top 10 shootout for pole position. Hamilton, who had been struggling to find pace all weekend, could only manage 11th place on the grid. The frustration was evident in his radio transmissions. "Where do I need to find time?" he asked his engineers, searching for answers that seemed elusive. The usually upbeat driver was uncharacteristically subdued, a stark contrast to the jubilant Vettel who had secured pole position for Red Bull. The buzz around the paddock centered on Hamilton's struggles. Was it the pressure of the championship, the challenging track conditions, or perhaps the recent upheaval in his personal life? Whatever the reason, one thing was clear: Hamilton was not his usual dominant self. This wasn't the same driver who had blitzed the field in previous races, setting record-breaking lap times and overtaking with breathtaking audacity. The adrenaline of practice sessions still hummed in Lewis Hamilton's veins. The pressure cooker of the Grand Prix weekend, the strain of his split with his father, the turbulent relationship with Nicole Scherzinger. It all swirled in his head. He needed a release, a moment to escape the scrutiny and expectations. Behind the wheel of his sleek silver Mercedes-Benz, a loaner from his sponsor, Hamilton felt a familiar thrill. The open road called out like a siren song, offering a brief escape. With his buddy next to him, he sped away from the Albert Park circuit. But as he turned onto Fitzroy Street in St. Kilda, a popular nightlife spot, something shifted. The desire for release morphed into a reckless impulse. With a hard press of the accelerator, the tires screeched, the rear end fishtailed, and a cloud of smoke filled the air. Hamilton, the world champion, was now the center of a different kind of spectacle. A burnout on a public street under the watchful eyes of the police. The police lights flashed, the siren wailed, and Hamilton's heart sank. This wasn't a calculated risk on the racetrack. This was a public display of recklessness. The consequences were immediate. His Mercedes was impounded, he was issued a summons, and the news spread faster than his car had moments before. The aftermath of Hamilton's burnout was swift and unforgiving. The police escorted him back to his hotel, and his beloved Mercedes was impounded for 48 hours. The incident was quickly picked up by the media, and soon the world knew about Hamilton's late-night escapade. Headlines blared with sensationalized versions of the story. One article described Hamilton as a menace on and now off the track, recounting his past on-track controversies and suggesting a pattern of reckless behavior. Another questioned whether his burnout blues were a sign of deeper personal struggles. The incident dominated the news cycle, overshadowing the upcoming race and painting Hamilton in an unflattering light. The public reaction was mixed. Some fans defended Hamilton, attributing the incident to youthful exuberance and stress. Others, however, were disappointed, accusing him of being irresponsible and setting a bad example for young fans. Even his own team, McLaren, was caught off guard. In the midst of the chaos, Hamilton took responsibility for his actions. "What I did was silly," he admitted in a statement, a rare moment of vulnerability from the usually confident driver. He acknowledged the negative impact of his behavior, especially considering his role in promoting road safety. However, the incident wasn't without consequences. Hamilton was eventually fined $500 for his indiscretion, a slap on the wrist for a driver earning millions. The magistrate, while not recording a conviction, admonished him for behaving like a hoon and setting a poor example for young drivers. The Melbourne burnout became a defining moment in Hamilton's career, a stark reminder that even champions can stumble. It was a lesson in humility, a test of character, and a catalyst for growth. Hamilton faced the music, took responsibility for his actions, and worked tirelessly to rebuild his reputation. He learned to channel his passion and energy into his racing, where it truly belonged. He became more focused, more mature, and more determined than ever to win. And the results are in front of us. So, what do you think? Was Hamilton's burnout just a youthful indiscretion or a sign of deeper issues? Was the punishment fair or was it an overreaction? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories of F1 drama, triumphs, and the occasional burnout.